He is hanging out with us live, so we're good to go, guys. So yeah.
Well, welcome everyone to National IBD Training today. We are so excited to have all of you here and all of you here online as well. And we have had so many exciting people join Strongbrook. I don't know how many of you know, but like people like DC Cordova have joined us. I mean, we have had just an amazing group of people continue to join this cause, this movement that we're in with the Conscious Creator Mentoring Network. And really, just really exciting things are happening. They're building the mentoring shop where you'll be able to use your loyalty points and buy not only our real estate packages will be in there, but coaching and all sorts of mentoring things from our mentors in the vault will be in there that you'll be able to use your loyalty points towards, and trips and all sorts of stuff. So it's very, very exciting to be involved with Strongbrook. Things are continuing to ramp up. We are gaining really serious momentum. And as far as announcements go, Laura Evans is going to be presenting at the Strongbrook Women's Empowerment Group on the 14th. We're so happy to have her do that. Right? And so that is May 14th, and that's going to be, instead of at Shanna's house, that's going to be here at the Strongbrook corporate office. It is a potluck lunch. And for all of you there online, you guys can get together and have your own potluck lunch, but you can watch and participate because we are going to live stream it. So that's exciting. So all of you, and I put in the post, I put that everyone is now included, but I guess the men still, sorry. But if you happen to watch, we won't know. So I guess you can include yourself if you want. But and then also we have so many exciting things coming up. We have May 23rd. This is really, really important. Okay, so Gary and I and our family, we spent this whole last week in LA. We weren't here last week, you probably noticed. We had spent this whole last week in LA with a man named David Fagan. Now this man, he is amazing. He owned the PR company for, I guess the highest PR company in the world, like promoted like people like Michael Jackson, all these celebrity type people. And anyway, so we got to spend a lot of time with him last week, and he is coming here. And what he does is he takes business people and turns them into celebrities, or celebrities and turns them into business people, whichever you need, right? And so if you haven't noticed, Strongbrook's kind of been up in their game. So I figured it was about time for us to up our game. So anyway, David, he makes people iconic in their industry. And so he's going to come and he's going to show some of the types of things that he does with people and for people to just raise your level of credibility with others. Because a lot of times you can be the most amazing expert in your field, but unless others perceive you that way, then it doesn't, it loses you don't get that draw, right? So it's, so a lot of it is how others perceive you. And so he's going to teach us on that on May 23rd. Do not miss that. May 23rd, and bring people there. It's 7 to 9. It'll be right after the Manifest Now. Now the Manifest Now, so this is on a Saturday. Our Manifest Nows are usually they're usually midweek. So this is a Saturday. So that's a great opportunity to bring more people that usually can't come on a work day. So in the Messenger, now the Messenger is on Monday. Did you guys notice it comes on Monday now? So anyway, in the Messenger, it does say that Manifest Now starts at 8, but actually it doesn't start until 9. So, but if you get there early, chat and network, that's great. So it starts at 9, and so it's going to be an all-day event, and then David Fagan is going to be at the end of that event, and yeah, some really fun things. So don't miss that. And then so after that, the very last Conscious Creator Live. Who's been to a Conscious Creator Live? Yeah? Yeah, quite a few. Okay, so the very last one with the ropes course and all of that is going to happen May 28th. It starts on a Thursday. It's the 28th, 29th, and 30th. And that, I highly recommend it. It's a powerful, there's some indoor activities, but there's just a powerful experience outdoors. And it's going to be in May. It'll be nice. And I know that Gary and I made a lot of breakthroughs when we went through that. And so I would just highly recommend, even if you have to travel, this is the last one of this type. So come and enjoy that. And you learn a lot of leadership skills in that event as well. And so that's coming up at the end of May. And then the end of June, we have our 3-day event of Live Big. And I think, does anybody know, I think that's the 29th.
Did you say the last of June?
The end of June, yeah, the end of June. Anyway, I think it's June 29th, but it starts. But anyway, so it's the end of June that we'll have our Live Big. And so even though this is the last Conscious Creator Live, I know that Gerald and Chris are figuring out another live long event, possibly a 5-day event that's going to happen. But the Conscious Creator Live, I mean, you walk on fire, you break arrows, you do lots of really exciting things. So come to that. All these things that Gary was so excited about, and I don't know why, but I wasn't afraid of any of it. But that's just me. So with that, I am excited to turn the time over to Gary. Oh, first of all, I also want to recommend a book that Roger Salam was here over the weekend training, and he highly recommended the book the 10X Rule, and I think it's by Grant Cardone.
The
10X Rule, and by Grant Cardone, and he reads it often. And I figure anybody that's way more successful than I am, I will listen to what they say about what books to read, right? So, you know, he was talking about how he has 25 million people linked to him on LinkedIn. You know, that's pretty good. So anyway, so you might want to grab that book, pick up that book and read it. And with that, I'm going to turn the time over to my fabulous husband, Gary Norris.
Roger Salam, like 2 million LinkedIn friends. Is that what he said?
He said 25.
25 million friends on LinkedIn. Who wants to have 25 million friends on anything? I don't know about that. That's amazing. I'll take the 12 that are in this room.
Yeah, that's right.
That is us.
Oh, I forgot.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Just one more big announcement. This is really huge. This is really huge though, because this is how things morph into bigger things, right? So we have our party on June 13th set for you guys, or actually it was June 12th. We've kind of moved the party part to June 13th because June 12th, Gary and I are co-facilitating a high-level mastermind with Roger. And so if you have any really high-level people that you want to, it's by invitation only, but since you guys have connections, we could probably get those in, right? So anyway, so on June 12th, that'll be the high-level mastermind with Roger Salam. Gary and I are doing it with Roger. And then that next day, we are having an all-day event. We've turned it into an all-day event, June 13th, and we are going to bring some really awesome mentors to actually come and speak. And there's a high possibility, I got a little note this morning, there's a very high possibility that Kirk Duncan will be there.
Yay!
So yeah, so anyway, but whoever we have there will be really high-level people. So that will be a huge opportunity to get lots of guests there to expose them to the kind of people that are in the network. And hopefully from the mastermind mentoring, hopefully any of the high-level people that join that day, then they will be highlighted the next day in our long day event. So, and they will have joined, right? So that will be good, you know, good validation for your guests to see the kind of quality of people that we're getting. People like Christmas. So anyway, with that.
Will that mastermind be here locally, or will it be a conference call? Like
No, that mastermind will be local. We might have it in Salt Lake. We haven't determined the venue, but it'll be local.
And is it limited size-wise?
Yeah, it is. And I don't know the size limits yet. Roger's going to kind of be laying that out, but it will be.
I think it's around 50. Oh, does he want?
They've done one that was 60. They've done that one that was 15. Where he wants it to be on this one,
oh, okay.
I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have people, let us know quick.
Somewhere in the middle.
So, okay.
30, 35 or so. Thanks, Carolyn. The mastermind, which is on June 12th, is really, it's how, if you've seen Chris and Stephen Miller and Chris Crone flying around, going to events, and just before convention, like the week before convention, they went to like a couple masterminds. Convention is the very next week. And people, they don't know how to say Strongbrook, right? They're up there on stage saying Stonebrook.
Yeah, exactly.
Stonebrook. And it's just because they just barely became aware of this company. They were at the mastermind. And they were invited to come to the convention. And they, at the mastermind, they saw the vision. Their eyes were open to the possibility. And these are people that they're in all different industries. And so to give you an idea of the type of people that are going to be invited to the mastermind, they'll be personally kind of interviewed or over the phone by Roger and maybe us as well. And then they get a personal invitation to come to it. It's designed for like an internet marketer who's got a great presence. Maybe he doesn't do MLM, and none of these people do MLM necessarily, but it could be an internet marketer. It could be a guy a coach that travels. It would be perfect for the person you were talking to me about, without mentioning names, that we have an appointment with. It'd be perfect for him. The Kirk Duncans of the world, the people that are influencer, and they have their own things, they have their own programs. And the purpose of the mastermind is to get to know other like-minded individuals, where Roger Salam and us, we just kind of seat them up together in a mastermind, and then let everyone share about them, their wants, their needs, what's a good client for them, what they're looking for, what they're doing, who they're looking for, what services they offer. And the other people in the room get to hear this and then network. And that's the purpose of it for that whole day. And then we feature a particular business or member of the mastermind. And the feature will be, obviously, happen to be Chris Crone and Stephen Miller. We will feature those two people in their business. So while everyone else may get 10 minutes to talk about themselves, Strongbrook will get an hour to talk about themselves. Okay. And then the people in the mastermind are going to be invited to play on a high level. And so anyone that gets someone that's in the mastermind, and you get them to be approved to come into this mastermind, and they want to play, they get to play on your team. That's the whole idea, is that if they want to play, we can enroll them through you.
Gary, along with that, I don't know that everybody is feeling or realizing the power of what you're talking about, because that kind of a mastermind that Roger Salam is putting, people pay $20,000-$30,000 to go to those kind of events, because when you start being around the brilliance that are at those things, you're gonna go higher. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it is. And it is true, and I'm glad you brought that up. I was just about to get to it, that although this event is something that we can facilitate at no charge to these people coming here, trust me, they're used to paying high dollars to go to masterminds and be invited to them. Roger's masterminds are $25,000.
Yeah.
That's what he charges to go to a one-day mastermind with him.
Oh, and I didn't mention
I'll get to it. And so that is kind of a unique thing that we have an opportunity to be part of. When someone said, well, who's DC Cordova, that we didn't know, she was at the mastermind, and she came here the very next week. I don't know if she came to convention or not, but she's been here a couple times already in the last few weeks to Utah. I followed her on Facebook for a few years. She was Robert
Kiyosaki's partner for 9 years.
Okay, there you go, Robert. She's shared stages with presidents and political figures from around the world, and she's just a well-connected lady that her whole mission and cause is to really make the world better. And she saw that Strongbrook actually has that potential opportunity to do that through the mentoring network. So keep in mind, that's June 12th, and June 13th, which is going to be Saturday, will be an all-day event. Hopefully we got Kirk Duncan officially booked to be at that event as well, to be providing content. I know Amy Walker will be there. She and Carolyn have put this thing together.
Wait. Kirk Duncan is hopefully booked to be where, when?
Speaking
June 13th.
June 13th
Oh, okay.
at an event that
The
Amy, at the party.
Yeah, the
So
party has turned
that
into
it's
an
now
all-day
turned into an
seminar.
all-day, it's an all-day Saturday personal development party, I guess is one way to put it. Pardon?
Is it still called Three Amigos?
I think we'll have to.
We might change the
Might be
name.
100 amigos.
It may no longer be called the Three Amigos, but it is to celebrate the fact that we're all trying to triple the size of our teams. And who was another one? Kim Flynn was another lady.
Possibly.
That's possibly, okay, that may not be booked. This is being recorded, so. Zip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it's already
That weekend.
Does she? And you already know this? Okay, so Chris Miles will be stepping in for Kim Flynn. Oh, you're gonna be at her event. I knew you were gonna say that next. So I just had a feeling that was coming up next, right out of your mouth. So anyways, keep in mind with that. Real quick special, everyone turn around and wave to Ryan Jayton. Because I don't know if y'all knew he's here. I haven't seen him for a long time, so I just want to recognize Ryan Jayton in the room. And
Speech.
We want Ryan shorts and flip flops and tan and a beard.
so do you have anything you'd like to share for a moment, Ryan? I mean, you're right here if you want to come up. You have full welcome. Come up and just say hi. We'll even shut the doors so no one else can hear you. Just the live stream. Ryan Jayton, D-Man. What's that? Anything at all. Say hi. I would say hi to you for like 4 months.
Hey, everybody.
Yes.
So that works. If that's all you said, that was good.
Yeah, life's good.
What
Yeah.
are you up to?
Watching Strongbrook grow. I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but April is the biggest month of the year we just came off of. So
Oh, yeah.
that was a great month. Volume was up. A lot of exciting things going on. I don't know if you guys get a chance to see behind the scenes enough to know how much footwork is going on with the growth of the company, but there's some amazing things going on right now. I will share with you one thing that I'm working on. I know the question everybody always says is, how are you growing? How are you growing your team? And what are you doing these days? I decided, it was funny you're talking about masterminds. I decided to find masterminds around the United States and get us on their stages because we have a pretty powerful message to share. And my first one is in the Dominican Republic, the end of this month. There's gonna be 300 people there that all paid $9,000 to be there. And I've got Kevin Clayson and Stephen Miller going down and do a conscious creator pitch and doing a 3-day real estate seminar for everybody in the room. And so that group does it 6 times a year in different places around the world. I went to their one in the Bahamas, and I went to their one in Curacao, and then they got another one coming up in the Dominican. The next one's in Thailand, and it looks like we're going to be a permanent speaker in their group. So it started making me think about, okay, what other groups around can we get on their stages? Because we no longer have a competing message with people. We have a complementary message that we can share with a lot of people right now, and I'm pretty excited about that.
That's awesome.
So,
Thanks, brother.
all right.
Well done. It's not every day we get to see you walk in, so if you're here and you're sitting, might as well grab you before you get up and walk out. So thanks. One thing that I thought was really unique when we were at the mastermind that they did in LA last Monday, and we were invited to go there. Carolyn is hiring David Fagan to do some work with her, and so he said,
I gotta speak in Beverly Hills.
she was at the mastermind event and networking and found that someone had heard about her, and other people were saying, I was at convention, I heard her talk. And so this guy's like, well, I've got an event in Beverly Hills on May 21st to a women's group. It's about women empowerment, and we'd like you to come out and speak. So you just never know what can happen when you go to these events. It was really kind of surreal. It was really neat. One person, now when Strongbrook gave the pitch at this event, there were 63 people in the room. There was admittedly people that started making comments like, this suddenly went from mastermind to BizOp meeting. This suddenly went from a mastermind to feeling like we just got pitched. And David Fagan's like, you know what? You are being pitched. And here's why it's important for you to recognize you're being pitched and to either allow your mind to open up to this possibility or possibly get left behind. And they really took some time to share with them how the Walmarts came in and what happened when Walmart and Costco came into the world. What happened to the mom and pops? It really, literally didn't it? And it caused quite a stir. What about like the horse and the buggy, like the automobile, right? Well, what they're trying to show people is we're not here to disrupt and shut you down. We're just here showing you a new system that works with the mentoring network, how you can have a huge stage and still do what you're doing. We're not asking you to join a company and pitch a different product. We're asking you to join a company and pitch yourself. Better yet, let other people pitch you and tap into other people. Your future, what you would have thought would be your competition, now becomes your ally. If you thought you're a personal development speaker and you're competing with the next personal development speaker for a stage, if you both come on our platform, and if you go out there and find some others to join your platform, whether you find them or not, and they just find Strongbrook or the Mentoring Network on their own, you now have everyone else's fans, plus our sales force recruiting more subscribers, giving you additional exposure. You can't get that for free anywhere in the world, but you can here. You literally can get it for free. You literally can get it for free, plus they're bringing on this store that's going to be announced soon where people can log on and buy their higher, and I want to make a comment on that too, where people can buy their higher level programs through Strongbrook, through the mentoring store. And literally you could be making money on people that would have never known you otherwise, that could have been a follower of a different mentor who's now in the network and sees you, resonates with you, buys your group of IBDs on your team. When your team members make a purchase on in the mentoring store, what are you getting?
Commission.
You are getting OCV and you are getting commissions. So when Les Brown, for example, has a $3,000 boot camp that's 3 days, or someone else, that could literally mean, I don't know, it could mean an $800 commission. It could mean a $10 commission. But it also means volume points. And now you have hundreds and hundreds of PSA potentials, hundreds. And probably it'll get to where there's well more than hundreds, into the thousands, when people are purchasing other mentors' content, and it's your group, your team that's doing it. You're all just accumulating points for volume and commissions. That's kind of important. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I just wanted to mention the fact that it was kind of funny because one of the real high power people that was there that's involved in the entertainment industry that was in that mastermind group, he was one of the ones that said something about it. Now it's turned into a biz op meeting. He's like, but he went on to say, he's like, but you know, even if it is, what happened to the record industry when they did not embrace the new thing?
Oh, Napster.
And so he was telling everyone that. He's like, so I can see that this is going to be the new thing. So.
Yeah, it was interesting because at this mastermind, people were standing up and just grabbing the microphone and saying their 2 bits, okay? And their 2 bits, 95% of it was really positive. And as these people would take the microphones, David Fagan was interrupting them and he'd say, stop. Are you a Strongbrook? No. Okay, are you going to be? I don't know, probably. But then they went on to say they're good stuff. And it was interesting because the other people, he's pointing out, all these people picking up the microphone, they're not in. They just see the value. And one person in particular stood up. His name was Michael.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, I am surrounded by all these mentors right now in this room. I'm not a mentor. I have one mentor in my life. It's David Fagan. He invited me to this mastermind. I do online product launches, physical products. He sells oils. He's like, I don't join an MLM oil company, but I go to oil manufacturers and I bottle them up and I sell oils with my own label and my brand on the internet, and I make millions of dollars doing it. And I have one mentor, David Fagan. But now I just see in this room, I'm now meeting all these people who I would love to get to know. And I'm finding out that you all have these programs that cost lots of money. Because I could probably drop $100,000 and learn from all of you guys. But you know what I will do? I am going to sign up in the mentoring network, because now for $99 a month, I can go get to know all of you guys. And I don't have to pay to get your programs. I can get your stuff for free and find out which one of you can take me to a new level, and then I'll buy your higher stuff. Yeah. And he goes, for me, I'm not even interested in selling or marketing Strongbrook or the mentoring network. I'm just interested in being a client, so I can find you guys and take your stuff for free. Well, he comes around. Yeah, he's coming way around.
Because his cousins, all these cousins.
So, Yeah, the man realized, he's like, oh, I got like 60 some cousins
Yeah,
that would
that's
love
when he
this.
was like.
And suddenly he's like, the value of this could be, I could sign up. And so that mastermind, all those people that were there, they were David Fagan's people. And Carolyn and I were just sitting in that room going, this man is signing up. I don't know how many people he signed up, probably 30 of them at least at the $4.99.
A very high level.
No questions asked.
So definitely,
And
if you have a chance to get any of your people.
just interesting. So I'm not saying this is the big answer, but I am saying what Ryan Jayton said. It's just another thing, which brings me to the whole point of today's training. Have we talked about real estate yet? Does it seem like Strongbrook ever freaking talks about real estate anymore?
Not much.
Is Strongbrook a real estate company?
Yes.
What's up with that? Okay, so a lot of people have reached out to me and said, okay, there's a lot of people that reach out and say, I'm so excited, this mentoring thing is awesome. But then there's a lot of people that reach out and say, what the heck's going on? I thought we were a real estate company and I want to talk real estate. What's going on? I thought we were focused on real estate. Now no one talks about it. Well, that's not necessarily true, but I want to just kind of open your mind to, I had a talk with Paul Jansen, and I wanted him to come in here and share a story, but I'll just retell his story that he told me. He is the new executive director of Strongbrook Direct, right? Chris Crone stripped his own title and gave it to Paul Jansen. And Paul Jansen said, I am so excited about things that are happening right now. And I said, well, like what? And unlike Chris, he doesn't tell me. He's like, well, I can't say, but there's just a lot of things I'm excited about. And I'm like, well, I'm not excited about one thing, that you're the one that gets this information now, because Chris would usually share it. You're too adhoidified. And he did say, though, he said, Gary, I understand, because I said, you know what, there's hardly any talk about real estate. Some people are getting disenfranchised. And he said, it reminds me of a story of the sun and the wind. We had a conversation. Someone heard the parable of the man walking outside in the sun, and I'll probably trash the story, but when he shared it with me, I got a picture of it. They were debating amongst themselves, the sun and the wind said, I bet I can make that man take off his coat. And the sun said, I bet I could. The wind said, I bet I could make him take off his coat before you. And the sun said, I bet I could. And the wind said, well, I'm going to go first. And so he did. And the wind decided to just blow as hard as he could. He was going to blow the coat right off the man. Won't give him a chance to take it off. I'll blow it off and I'll show the sun who's boss. So the wind blew and blew and blew. And what did the man do? Started getting freezing cold. He grabbed the coat and he just pulled it tighter. And he furrowed his eyebrows. He put his head down. He just withstood the wind. And the wind, after he lost his breath, went, can't believe it. I thought for sure he would have taken his coat off. And the sun said, let me just show you how it's done. And the sun just made a part in the clouds, basked his light upon the man. The man enjoyed the sun, looked up, enjoyed the rays, freely and openly took off his coat and laid it on the ground and just enjoyed standing in the rays of the sun. There's many doors to get someone to find this company called Strongbrook. We at first used one door, and that door was real estate and high dollar real estate. It wasn't even a MAP PSA. It was $5,500 to $16,000 to do real estate. And if you were an IBD back then, you had one offer to show them the door to Strongbrook, and it was real estate. And and then they would do their due diligence and they would look and they would come to a meeting and they would get on the computer and they would find things and they would say, am I going to part with my $6,000 or $16,000 or $8,000? And so they do more research and they would find things. Then they would have doubts and they would want to go talk to people and they would want to talk to 15 people. And then they would eventually, some of them would open up their wallet and join. But there was so much resistance. And then there was another way that people could play, and that was a business opportunity. An IBD, business opportunity, even a MAP PSA, and then we're still real estate, just another door. Some people said, I'm going to focus on building a team, and other people said, I'm going to focus on getting real estate investing clients, right? I was going back and forth on that for like a year and a half. That was just another door. Well, now a third door has opened, and this door is personal development. This door is unique, though. This door is like the warm sun shining on every living, breathing human, because most people resonate with warm sun. Most people resonate to a warm, you know what, there's a network of mentors that can help you become a better you at whatever you are. And as people see that, their defenses are down, their brows aren't furrowed, they're not looking head down, and they're not pushing into this wind of resistance of, you got to do this real estate thing. They're taking off their coat, they're embracing this personal development thing of Strongbrook, and when they're in, they have all this credibility to support the fact that when they learn that there's a biz opportunity, or when they learn there's real estate, they're in a different mindset. They're in a different mindset because a Chris Miles or a Leslie Householder or a you name the mentor in the network that they resonate with is part of this company. So when they learn that when they learn there's real estate, their mind and their defenses are not up. It's the credibility factor is there. It's like, well, Les Brown and Kevin Harrington would be part of this if it was a scam. But everyone else, the first thing you think is scam. Back in when it's the wind blowing on them.
Still confused about money.
The sun still confused about money. Scam, SCAM. I like that. So this little sunshine effect is not, yes, it is what everyone's talking about. And I will agree. That's all we've talked about. But there's a purpose for it. Maybe I shouldn't mention names because I don't have their permission. A mentor on the network enrolled someone to be a conscious creator mentoring level 2. And well, I can say who that was. It was the homeschooling gal. What's her name? Nicolene Peck. She enrolled someone to be in the mentoring network. He comes in at level 2, pays us $499.99 a month. And within a day, he finds out, oh, this Strongbrook has a real estate thing to it. He came into the company and met with Stephen Miller. He then got on the phone and actually talked to Carolyn. He said, I want to do this. So much so that Nicolene Peck called Carolyn and said, hey, will you enroll him? He wants to do the real estate thing. And we're not even sure how much he wants to do. He just says, I want to do it. So she calls this man, and this man signs up into the $499 real estate program. And before that day ended, he was a $16,000 PSA holder.
Wow.
Because the company called him and welcomed him. And he's like, no, yeah, I remember I talked to Stephen Miller about this. I want the whole enchilada. And he whipped out $16,000, and Nicolene Peck got a $3,000 commission. She didn't talk about real estate. This is my whole point. When they say they've had their biggest month since April, I mean, April was their biggest month to date. They've sold quite a few PSAs in April. I know one that John Moyes had did not come about because we were real estate. Your PSA came about through another thing. It was business opportunity. But when the guy found out there was real estate involved, he was blown away, actually. And he joined and bought a PSA. And I know this is just the people I know. And now you've got to consider and take into the consideration the people that we don't know because we're not connected to the David Fagan and the Rogers Salam group and that lady that has 1 million in her downline, Stephanie. We're not connected to their influencers, but they have purchased many PSAs. And all they've been doing is talking to people is about the mentoring network. And so it is an approach that's working, and it's fulfilling Strongbrook's actual hopes, which is the mentoring network is the warm, fuzzy gateway into our wonderful company. And now let the mentoring network help illuminate them to the fact that there's real estate, and you will find real estate stuff on the mentoring network, wealth building tools, not just from Strongbrook, but from either mentors outside of Strongbrook that are mentors and real estate gurus. Look, Ron was at our convention, and that man is a real estate guru. So just keep in mind that while we're not all real estate, it's not being forgotten at all.
Quick comment. I was in the back of the room at the convention. I didn't know this, but we were slapping the guy next to us. The guy next to me was the rock star guy.
Oh, yeah.
Who got up and told that hilarious story. And he said, he found out about it on Tuesday. He flew in Saturday or Friday, whatever day it was. He He brought 4 people with him, and then he said, by Monday, I'm gonna impress these guys, I'm gonna have 30 in this thing. I don't know the details of the follow-up on that, but he was all over it. Then when he was up on stage, he was on fire, as you know.
And he was the one that didn't know what our company was called.
Yeah.
He's like, I just showed up.
He was at that mastermind the week before, and he's like, this is amazing. I'll change all my plans. I'll come to convention. And, you know, that's kind of how it was for Les Brown, too. He didn't know really what we were all about. He just heard that this company had a cause, and this cause was to elevate the consciousness of the world and literally attempt to do what all the pageant people say, I want world peace. It's like this. And Les Brown resonated with that when the Hackett's shared with him. And he's like, okay, so you have a convention coming up, because the Hackett's mentioned, I would like to speak at your convention. All he knew is that there was a humanitarian component to Strongbrook. He didn't even know that we did real estate until we ate dinner with him that night with the Hackett's. He had no clue.
Yeah.
He didn't know there was a mentoring network. He had no clue. He just knew that it was a company with a cause, and that cause was to spread humanitarian personal development goodness throughout the world. And he's like, well, I want to be part of it. And it wasn't until he could sit down and it's just kind of funny. Everyone assumed he knew, right? Everyone assumed, I assumed he knew.
Right.
And it wasn't when we're at dinner, we're like, he doesn't have a clue. He doesn't know anything. He's like,
He's just scared.
and no offense and no problem. It's not the Hackett's fault. It's just the man's a very hard man to get a hold of. And when he says he does something, he's going to do it. And then it's trying to reconnect with the man. It's just interesting, but it's a slow process. But my bigger point I'm trying to make is, yeah, there's a lot of warm, fuzzy ways to get people to Strongbrook. I see Chris Miles, who's known, you've been a client of the company for years. Technically, you've been an IBD since the day they became IBD. There was IBD's opportunities. And yet you do your own money ripples, and you're the cash flow man. And you yourself have clients that you coach personally, and when appropriate, you refer them to Real Estate with Strongbrook, and you get paid a referral fee. And even if you didn't, you would still refer them to Strongbrook when it was appropriate for your clients. And now you have a greater purpose. You have not just reserving real estate people to Strongbrook. Now he can fairly say, I could refer anyone to the mentoring network because I'm part of the mentoring network. And not only, even if you wasn't part of it, it resonates with you personally because you know all these type of mentors.
I was making Chris and Kevin do this for years.
Is that right?
Well, they finally listened to me.
They sure did. We're glad they listened to you also. So comments, or anyone have commentary on, hey, this thing, the Strongbrook is awesome. There's different doors to introduce people. I kind of like the door to the mastermind right now. I experienced it. I was frankly blown away by it. So we're doing one.
Could you talk about the June 12th event again? So they're doing a mastermind?
Yes.
Who's?
We did talk about it. So we'll talk about it with you afterwards. But yeah, it is June 12th and June 13th will be
Gary and I are
an all-day
doing it
event.
with Roger.
We'll make sure we touch base on it. Roger Salam.
Roger, someone just.
Comments on doors, ways that you introduce people that people have had success or frustrations, anything?
Yeah, I've been talking to you about the conscious creator, multi-business owners and people that are in the personal development space in the last 2 weeks since convention. It's such an easy conversation to have with people that when you tell them that you can get them in front of several thousand people for free, their ears perk up and they're like, what? Like, how? And you talk a little bit about the mentoring network, and it's such. Before when I try to talk to people about real estate, a lot of people are like, I've had bad experiences with that, or people that have had bad experiences with that. Okay, so it makes it a little bit more of a challenging conversation depending on who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
This way, it's super easy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Gary mentioned about that expert. How many of you have signed up for the Conscious Creator Expert Summit that we're doing?
Oh yeah. So
okay, yeah, talk about that because
I've seen different people post Amy Walker's announcement that there's for the next starting today and for the next 6 days
it's your free
there is
chance.
an opportunity to hear from mentors that are in the network with one video a day being emailed to your this. And the reason I'm saying, I'll circle back to why I'm telling you this. It may not be important for all of you. You're all in the mentoring network and you're part of Strongbrook. But
yes.
Gerald Rogers, Carolyn, Adise Boucher, Ann Webb, and Amy Walker, who are all in the mentoring network. They're all doing a video a day. Amy Walker's doing 2 of them, day 1 and day 6, because this is how she runs her business. She calls it the Expert Summit. And she had this idea with Carolyn, what if we do an Expert Summit and we just make it available for all of the IBDs to tell their friends and family or contacts to go to. And so rather than normal, when they do these Expert Summits, which is a video a day for the period of a week, emailed to your inbox, there's always a reach out to say, hey, come to my website, you'll get to know my programs, my products. Instead of doing that, all of the mentors are saying, hey, if you're watching this, it's because someone has invited you to watch it. And we are all part of this thing called the Conscious Creator Mentoring Network. So if you're watching this, please, and you're interested in knowing more about the network, as they plug the CCMN as they give their presentation, get with whoever referred you to watch this video series and tell them you need to get into this Conscious Creator Mentoring Network. So this is just a way to promote people to get a free test drive of the actual mentoring network without logging into it.
And we have about 850 people signed up so far, so it's,
Wow.
yeah, so it's going.
So,
So,
go ahead.
I do have a concern. They'll have all the contact info for all of our leads.
No, so that is a good concern. That's a legitimate concern.
Are they contacted at other times?
Amy Walker is, for any one person that everyone has a link per se. Carolyn has a link. Every people that's contributed has a link. If their link produces over 100 people that register, then that will be shared with the people that were in there. Like Roger and Adise and Carolyn, they would all get to share that so they can add those people onto like their newsletters or to talk with them. So that is one thing that will be happening, because everyone to go, like if you went to carolynnorris.com and you clicked it, that's her unique link where someone could register. And there's 800 and some people that registered. So that is now, whether it's, if you send 5 people to that link, then you want to follow up with those 5 people, right? Mm-hmm. And if you know that you send them, that's what you want to follow up with them, because these people will have their data, they'll have their email, and I think their name, and that is something they can add to their file and send their emails to and their newsletters to. So, but they're not promoting themselves, but down the road, you're right, they're promoting themselves and they're promoting what they do. So the the gist of this is, if it's something you know and you want to send people to, who's responsible to follow up with them? You. So if you're just blanketly putting it on your Facebook page, which is totally okay to do, it's really cool to say, if you like it, get back with me and I can connect it to some cool things. And, or some people could create, and it's not too late, but you could create like your own page for people to opt in, and then you can have them and you can go register them all yourself if you want to, and use your email address.
Yeah,
so there are ways to piggyback around it if that's a concern.
If you didn't fill stage or something that you just registered.
But it starts today and it goes till the 9th of May.
When those people register, at the bottom of the registration on the Infusionsoft,
it has a name.
Who referred you?
Yeah, it has to be referred.
And so hopefully all 5 of the participants
I would
contributing are going to have integrity enough to understand.
So true, and I agree with that.
Although there have been several of us who have experienced.
It's awesome that
well, she's my friend. I don't care if you talk to her.
I totally get you,
so.
Which is why I understand both of your concerns. So it doesn't matter that on the bottom of the Infusionsoft it says who referred you. I mean, that helps, and the 5 people, Amy Walker is the one that diffuses that out, probably to somehow to Strongbrook or to Carolyn, because most people, we would be able to know who they are. Amy Walker doesn't know who's referring them, but we probably have a high chance that we know who they are.
But there is that ability for the person you refer to.
Yes.
And then it's just going to be integrity. It's going to be your follow-up. It's going to be integrity of the 5 people who get the names. And it's going to be the integrity of your friend who signed up.
Well, it's going to be all your follow-up. That's where it all lies.
I'm just saying, you can use it to leverage at your own risk. I will definitely, anybody I know of, you will definitely have. But I can only say that for me, so.
basically Amy said, because I asked her if they put in there referred by Julia Grady, for example, would her team be willing to forward those? But there's so many IBDs. She said they just don't have the manpower to give those back to the people who referred them. The only names they're pulling off are the ones that say referred by Amy or the 5 or 6 of you. So when you guys get the list, you'll know who your people were, but other IBDs who are on there are totally on their own. So it is up to us to follow up because nobody's going to be manning that.
So it's just something you guys can use if you feel like it will be helpful. If you feel like it won't be helpful and you're concerned, then don't use it.
Well, the problem is that several of us have posted it on Facebook, which you don't have any way of knowing if one of your friends from Facebook have contacted. So it is that just, please, if you've signed up, please get back to me.
So I'm the type of, me personally, the way I run my Facebook is similar to what you do, because I notice that you're just doing it for the good of the cause, right? And I don't know, I've seen you post, I think I've seen you post it, and I'm not even sure what link you're posting. Oh, okay, so you're posting the Carolyn link. But for me, I'm going to go back onto Facebook and say comments like, hey, that was a great event. If you've been watching the free videos that I referred you to or I told you about, message me. I can hook you up for free to more info. And just be proactive on your own Facebook. You're providing a valuable thing by saying it. Continue to provide something more valuable by saying, hey, if you like what you're seeing and you want to know why I post things like this, you probably ought to reach out to me. No harm, no foul. Something worth doing. And just be proactive. The whole reason they do it, they're not doing this to get, Carolyn and the other 4 people are not doing this to get leads so we can get them in the mentoring network. But they do it because this is how you grow your lists, and lists become valuable over time, right? Very valuable, because down the road you can, I post a link to some Facebook program that I paid $500 for, and someone used the link I posted. Well, that company, whoever that company is, they could pay me if anyone that I refer buys something from that, and that's how you grow your list. There's actually going to be a lot of good training on the mentoring network on the importance of growing lists. Someone needs to do that. To grow yourself as a business owner. Good idea. So good point. I'm glad you brought it up and talked about it. Any other comments or questions on that?
Is it too late for anyone to sign up yet?
No. I think the first video goes out today. So if you signed up today or tomorrow or the next day, you may be missing. I don't know if the videos are live for an entire month, but they come out once a day for 6 days. And it's just a YouTube link. That's all it is.
That's awesome.
And in fact, Carolyn's YouTube link is sitting right on our YouTube channel right now. So
for the next month, people could go into that email that they're receiving and click on the link for any one of the videos for like a month and stuff.
Yeah. In fact, here's something pretty cool. If I'm you, find one that you liked and you watched. It's just a YouTube link. Send your friend the YouTube link, not going through Infusionsoft. Just say, go to this YouTube link and watch it. This is the content and the quality of what you're going to see in this mentoring network.
Yeah, you can do that.
And that's like a totally easy workaround. Register yourself so you get access to them, and then get the emails, watch them, and then just go right to the YouTube link itself and send it to your friend. Or you could create a little web page out of that. Jason Isaac's not here, but I saw Jason Isaac do that with AndWeb stuff.
That's awesome.
He took AndWeb's videos and he created a little landing page that said something about making your own ideal life vision, and it was just a way for him to get leads. And he was using AndWeb's video to do so. Totally cool, very ingenious.
So we're all for you guys.
Anyway, whatever you could do, it's just an option that's out there.
Some leverage for you.
Anything else? Brother Tracy, I know.
I'll do this next.
Okay, we'll turn some time over to the pastor. Prosperity.
Here, thank you.
You betcha.
Here I am, and the message that I had for today. The message that I had is Gary gave it today, but here it is. As I elevate other people, I am elevated. When I promote other people, this weekend I was at a concert for the band, a gospel band called For King and Country. They're awesome. They just have awesome music. I got to meet with my little selfie stick, I got to interview the lead singer of the band. And so I'm out there promoting him. and he's not opposed to being promoted and have his music promoted. And so it elevated me. We never know who we are talking to. You may have an idea, but oftentimes you do not know who you're talking to. And I want to give one quick little story. Whenever Lviv and I go to the theater, we love to dress up nice. I love to get in a tuxedo.
Surprise.
Yeah, I love to get in a tuxedo and dress up.
Like to watch Paul Blart Mall Cop?
Probably not for that. That would be the movie theater, but the theater where there's actual a production happening. And one time we were at the Covey Center in Provo, Utah, and it was a dinner theater. And so we dressed up in our finest. And here I am, we're at the dinner theater and we're going through to get our food because I had it kind of a buffet style. And as we're doing it, I see this guy. And to my chagrin, this individual is wearing a sweatsuit. And he's got a BYU hat on. He's got it low. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I start judging him. And I'm really judging him. And I'm looking around and I'm going, I can't believe that you would come to the theater dressed like that. And as I'm walking by, then this individual we pass. And I can see under his hat. And the words that come out of my mouth without thinking is, good evening, Dr. Covey, how are you? Here's the individual that the theater is named after. And I'm sitting here judging the richest man in the whole building, and they named it after him. And I was like, oh, wow. And so we talked later, and Dr. Covey was kind, and I had changed my attitude because I saw there was Stephen Covey. And I was just like, he says, yeah, I just came from one of my grandkids' football game, and I wanted to come to the theater because this is such a great production. We wanted to see it. My wife wanted to see it, but we just came from the football game. And so here we are. And I was like, wow. So you never know who you're talking with. Treat everybody with respect and greatness, because the individual that you're chatting with may be that person in a scriptural reference, that Boaz, that can make your world change forever. And we're seeing it now all along. When I was at the convention, everywhere I turned, I was just like, had my selfie stick almost on all the time because I was able to get little interviews. Just be aware of that. As I elevate other people, I'm going to be elevated. And that's the Conscious Creator message today.
Well said, and I'll remember not to wear my sweats in front of you and my hat.
Name the theater after you go.
It's okay, right? That's a different story. Thanks, everybody. Next week, I think we're going to have Carolyn do a little bit of training on the handout, which would be kind of fun. And with that, Chris Crone is away, so maybe we toilet paper his house. Maybe we have a dinner party there, leave the pizza boxes open. I don't know. There's things we could probably do. I'll leave it to you to be creative, and I didn't give you any ideas. All right. With that,
have a great week.
We're done. Did you have a comment?
Well, I was just going to let you know that Gerald Rogers, we had our Money Master call this morning for the Prosperity Tribe, and we have several events that he's going to be doing all in the month of May. That
Do you have something you want to officially announce anything? Guys, I guess, okay, if you want to just come up real quick and officially announce it, that would be really, really, really awesome. And I won't turn the camera off until you're done. Good to see you.
Okay, Julia has a
Great. Okay, so just real quick, Gerald Rogers has his group is Prosperity Tribe, and he is creating a teleseminar every Wednesday this month, as well as a live event that will be held at the Hyatt House in Sandy on Thursday nights. He's doing a blitz with his entire team this Thursday, and it will be each week. We will put those on the calendar. He's inviting anyone who wants to bring their people, because the whole intent of this is to help Strongbrook to grow and to help each one of our people get at least 4 members on their front line. And so we're going to be pushing really hard for that. We invite others to participate. So we'll be adding some things to the calendar. So just want to invite you.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thursday night starting this Thursday.
This is Jacob Johnson.